Hello guys, hello beautiful people, and welcome back to Modern Wand. It's your girl Sarah here. I'm so excited to be back. I don't know where I'm talking like I've been gone for ages. This is my second video. If you haven't already watched my intro video on who exactly am I, like who am I, or what this channel is going to be about, it is up on my channel. Please go check it. There's also a brief get to know me, so you get to, you know, a little insight on who am I, like what my vibe's about, what my energy's about, and what the channel is going to consist of. Well, today I'm bringing to you a makeup tutorial on this look, and actually I threw in a brief explanation on how I actually got my hair like this. So it's very easy. As long as you've got patience and you know how to blend, bish blend, you'll be fine. Blind people out here in this bish, you know what I mean? You're trying to look cute. So, you know, if you're going on a night out, a little cute dinner date, you know, a little cute occasion or whatever, this is the perfect look. But yeah, this is just a quick tutorial on how to achieve this look. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy creating it. Love you guys so much. Thank you. Stay tuned. You want to see how I'm out here blinding people. I mean, I'm blind too. Like, honestly, I can't see without my contacts. Yeah, lost. Okay, let's begin by using your lotion of choice and moisturizing our skin. Next, we're going to go in and groom our brows. So using your spoolie or brow brush of choice, go in and neaten your hairs. I'm following this up by filling my brows with a brown eyeliner actually, or whatever powder of brown pencil you have. I start by small hair strokes in front, followed by lining the actual brow underneath. This does not have to be neat. You will go in later and neaten it up, but fill in your brow as you see fit. I don't use any particular way of doing this. I just follow the actual shape of my eyebrows and fill them in. Okay, once you are happy with your desired brow, or you feel like you've achieved the results you want, go back in with your spoolie or brow brush and just brush those hairs so that they blend in better with whatever products you've laid on top. Okay, so time to neaten our brows up. I'm going in with my concealer brush, which is the Morphe M705. I pinch the top of the hairs to flatten them out more. This helps me with better application and precision also. I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. I dab a little on the back of my hand, one to warm the product up a little, and it just helps me pick up. I use my hand like a palette. Going in, just outline and neaten your brows. Take your time with this. It's not, you know, it's not a race. Like I said, flattening it helps me be a little bit more precise as it's not as thick. Okay, so once you're happy with the initial outline of your brows, go back in with the product left on the brush. You do not need to pick up more, and just lay a thicker line underneath those brows. Okay, using that same concealer brush, I'm going to dab into my foundation and mix it with that product left on the back of my hand. This is just to create a slightly darker shade to use and neaten up the upper part of my brow. I do this, one, to prevent that halo look that we're trying to avoid, and two, we're trying to go for neat brows here, girls. Neat, cute brows, not look like we've extracted skin from someone else. Okay, so sis, I hope your wrists are warmed up, because let the blending begin. I'm going in with my E23 Morphe blending brush, and I'm just going to blend out any harsh lines around my brows. Blend, blend, blend. I'm going to blend this also onto my lid. Blend it out onto my lid. Also, to prevent that boxed appearance at the front of the brows, I use the same blending brush and blend out any harsh lines in front. Okay, now using my concealer brush yet again, I'm going back into that product left on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to tap this along my lid and use it as a base for my shadows. I don't actually set this, I leave it wet, but going back in with my E23 blending brush, I will just buff out any harsh lines and create a smoother surface for my shadows to lie on. Also, using that product that's left on my hand, a little goes a long way, trust me. I will place that slightly under my eyes. It acts as the perfect base for if I have any shadows on my waterline. Okay, so our palette of choice is the Carnival XL Pro palette, my favorite really. And the first shade we're going in with is Lights Out, which is like a black. If you have a dark brown, that will suffice also, like a really dark brown. Slowly pack this onto your lid gradually, no need to rush it, and build it into your crease or just a little above your crease. Once this color is set, you're actually going to wipe your brush so that you don't have as much product on it anymore. And using that same brush, you're just going to buff out that color a little higher above your crease. This just creates like a slight gradient for you to work on as we go from darker to lighter shades. Okay, so we're going to go back into the palette and pick up this dark brown shade called Intuition, and we're just going to tap it slightly over that gradient. See, came in handy, didn't it? So blend that gently upwards into your lid, and once again we're going to tap off the excess of our brush or wipe it on yourself like I do, and go back in and blend out that dark brown shade to create yet another gradient. It just really helps with blending better. The next two colours we're going to pick up are Lit and Shuffle off the same palette, which is like an orange and mustardy colour. And remember, you don't need to pick up too much because you can always build up on the colour. Tap that over that dark brown gradient and blend, 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 sis. Like I said, if you want to intensify that colour, you can always go back into the palette, but you don't need to start off too strong. You can always build up on it. Okay, once you're satisfied with your little artistic piece, let's go ahead and prep our lashes. I'm using Duo Lash Glue, and I'm just going to pop them onto our lashes and then leave them to the side to get a bit tacky. In the meantime, I'm going to line my waterline with a kohl liner. It's a dark black kohl liner by Maybelline. Okay, moving on, taking some mascara, applying this only to our top lash line as we're not done with the bottom yet. Once you're done with that, we're going back in to take that Intuition, that dark brown shade, and popping that just below our lash line. Blend out the black kohl liner that you've popped there. Next, we're going back into the palette and taking a shade called Haul, which is like a burnt orange shade. A nice shade to blend in with that dark brown. Once again, going back under that lash line and adding that underneath. Okay, so we have some skin prep. Our lashes aren't tacky yet, so we'll be moving on. This is the Ordinary Ethylated Ascorbic Acid Solution, which is a direct acting form of vitamin C. We're just going to use a few drops on our skin. This is just to help to brighten up the skin a little, and it also acts as a beautiful layer of protection. You know, if you're going to be piling makeup onto their skin, which there's nothing wrong with, gotta look after it for it to bang, right? Okay, next, add your lashes. They're finally tacky. It just makes it easy for them to sit as you place them on rather than move and wait for them to dry. Okay, once that's in place, we're going in with some primer. I'm using the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer. This is to provide a smooth surface for my foundation to lay upon, and so my makeup also lasts a little longer. I'm going in with the BF Classics Foundation Stick. Love this foundation, and it's also so inexpensive. Don't miss out your neck, ladies. We're trying to be all one shade. Going in with my foundation brush, I'm just going to buff that in circular motions, sometimes all over motions. Don't miss out your necks, guys. You know, one shade, same neck, same face. We got this. Okay, I also tend to buff this slightly into my hairline also, if this hair will cooperate with me. Just buff it into, I say hairline, mine's my wig, let's be honest. Buff that in so that we're all repping one shades and everything blends nicely. Okay, time to brighten up the face a little. I go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn yet again. Underneath my eyes, the bridge of my nose, my Cupid's bow, also my chin and my forehead. I also tend to actually suck in my cheeks and place it right underneath my cheekbones. It just helps kind of with like reverse contour slash. It's kind of a habit. I wouldn't say it's needed. It's just something I've always done. Okay, so there's three tools I like to use in blending out my concealer. That is my E23 blending brush from Morphe, my E8 brush, also from Morphe, and my beauty blender. Initially, I will start off With my E8 blending brush, I will begin from the lowest point of where I placed my concealer underneath my eyes and buff that into my skin using the brush. And where the concealer meets the rest of my foundation on my face, I will then use circular motions to blend that out better. I will use that same brush and blend out all the concealer that is placed on my face using both buffing and blending motions to work this into my skin. I prefer to use this brush to start with because I feel like it doesn't remove as much product off my face as my concealer does, and it kind of just works better in buffing it in for me personally. The only place I don't use this brush is where I've placed concealer underneath my cheekbones. I rather prefer to use a beauty blender at this point. Okay, getting real close and personal now. I use my smaller blending brush, the E23 Morphe brush, to blend closer underneath my eyes. I like underneath my eyes and just the bridge of my nose to be slightly brighter. So I'm going in with a lighter concealer, the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 30, just underneath my eyes and on the bridge of my nose there. And I'll go back in and blend with those fluffy blending brushes by Morphe. I'm just going to work that nicely into my skin just so that underneath my eyes appears a lot brighter. So if you've not already noticed, I'm a huge fan of blending, and this is where the beauty blender comes in. So we're just going to work this all over the skin to make sure we have a seamless finish and there's no harsh lines whatsoever. I'm going in with a setting powder. I'm using the Airspun Loose Face Powder, and yet again I'm going to try this bloating. It failed. Second time. What kind of mediocre blow? Rubbish. Right, back to business. So using my beauty blender, I'll dab into the powder, but I dab the excess off on the lid. You don't need too much, you don't need a heavy layer, and I'll go in and push this into the skin where I've laid my concealer underneath my eyes, around my cupid's bow. Like I said, a light layer, and you're going to just push this lightly into the skin and we'll leave it to set. Now to cream contour, I'm going in with the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer in the shade Espresso. So I'm going to lay this just underneath my cheekbones, so suck in them cheeks. Pout girl. Next, we're going to lay this along my jawline. I'm also going to put a small amount either side of my nose, you know, for the slimmer appearance, as well as along your hairline, or in my case, just where my wig meets my head. But yeah, move back whatever's, yeah, wow. But just tap a little bit along your hairline, and we will be blending with the brush that I used to apply my foundation. Blend, blend, blend. This product a little goes a long way. You'll be shocked at how like thick and creamy it is, but blend out as best as you can. Take your beauty blender, we're going to use the base of it and buff that product in better around our forehead and cheeks and jawline. So when I said we're finna blend, we're going to blend. You then want to go back in with your thicker blending brush, in my case the E8, and blend along the side of your nose. Now using your beauty blender, go back in underneath the eyes and buff that powder into the skin. It will also remove any excess. Then we're going in with a darker translucent powder to set our cream contour. I do not like using a lot of product, so yet again we'll use whatever is on the lid and just go in and set around and buff over that cream contour that we laid earlier. Okay, so we're going to go in and set the overall face. I'm using the Revolution setting powder in the shade Terracotta. You want something slightly warmer. Also going in with a large powder brush. This one's actually from Primark and it's really good. It's in the number 115. So just put a little product on the lid there, an empty lid, tap off the excess. I'm even going to blow. I'm a fan, huge fan of, I've already got a lot of products on my face and not too much. This helps bring everything together. Don't forget to also buff it into your neck. Remember, you place product on there just to set everything. Well, ciao, now it's time to glow. So I'm using my Technique Get Gorgeous highlighter. This highlighter is so affordable. And you see that? Can you see that? So I'm going to place this on the high points of my cheekbones, the high points of my nose, and my cupid's bow. Now I'm going in with a small flat brush. I'm going back into that highlighter. We're going to add some finishing touches to our eye look. Just place this on your brow bone like so. Wow, it brings it all together. When I say we're blinding from all angles, B. Okay, for some more finishing touches, we're going in with Doll Candy Eyes in the shade Floss. This is just some pigment from Dollhouse Beauty. Gonna tap that into the inner corner of our eyes. We're going to be doing shine, shine. Now you can go in with some mascara and finish off your bottom lashes. Ooh, she feeling herself. Next, we're going in with some liquid lipsticks. These are by Pat McGrath. I'm starting off with the shade Deceit, which is like a dark brown shade, but it's actually got some maroons and a hint of purple in there, I feel. But use whatever liquid lipstick you want to use or liner, but just something dark to line your lips. And then for the middle of my lips, I'm going in with the shade Femme Moderne, also by Pat McGrath. It's like a light pink, a nudie pink, whatever nudes you want to use. And then rub together before we move on to adding gloss. I am using the Bronze Astral Vinyl Gloss by Pat McGrath also. This is like a shimmery gloss. It doesn't come with an applicator, so I've just used any from a gloss that I own. Okay, now to lay your work of art in place. So I'm going in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This mist is so light and I basically just drown in it. This face ain't moving anywhere at all. Then I go in with a fan and just help it dry. You can also air dry, sis. You don't need to be as extra as I am. Okay, so let's remove this band and see what we're working with. But first, you thought I was done with the glow. Like I said, we're trying to shine. So I'm going in with some loose highlighter by Lottie London. Just dab that slightly on our brush and intensify that glow. We're trying to blind our haters, the shade throwers. They want to throw shade, let's give them something to shade from. Next, let's move on to this hair and see how we can tame it. Okay, so I'm trying to decide what part and clearly gone for a side part. I'm going to brush my hair in the direction I want it to lay. Then I'm going to switch on my flat iron, actually part my hair. This is an old wig though, so there's not too much of a parting space left. But part it and then go in with my flat iron. I'm going to just clearly divide that part. Next, I'm obviously heat protector. We just need a drop. If I preach less is more one more time, you're going to get tired of me. Rub that in and just comb it, finger comb it through your hair. Next, going in with a little small tooth comb. I'm going to brush the hair to the side before parting it. And well, you either use a clip on a comb or whatever you use to just hold that hair up in place. Then slowly we're going to pick apart or section the hair. And as you section the hair, brush it and then grab it in between your flat iron. Rotate the flat iron towards yourself. And in like small clapping motions, that's the only way I can describe this. We're going to slowly release the hair and you should end up with a loose curl. Nothing too tight, but yeah, flat iron curls. So I'll show this one more time. I'm not the best at hair tutorials, but I'm gonna try for you guys. So section a piece of hair, brush it so it's slightly neat, grab it in between your flat iron, and then hold onto the other end tightly, trust me. Rotate the flat iron towards yourself, and then in small clapping like motions, release the hair, and you should end up with a sweet curl. Just like so. Ready? Now. Like that. And just carry on all throughout the hair, sectioning little pieces as you go. Okay, once you're finished, go in with some hairspray and just spray your hair just so your curls hold for as long as possible. Then go in with a hairbrush and actually brush the curls in the direction that they flow, and voila. Go in with a small tooth comb again and just neaten up the rest of your hair. Ta-da! We are done. Add in some statement pieces, some jewelry, you know, just to finish up the look, and ta-da, we're done. Okay, serve sis, work it.
like that.
Tell me how I did. Do I look cute? Do I look cute? But yeah, that's how we achieve this look. I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and if you'd love to see more of these, let me know and drop a comment in the comment section down below. If you've got any questions on certain products, I will link everything I've used on my face, the names, and I'll try and get as many links to the exact items in stores. I will link everything down in the description box below. My socials I'll also link at the end of this video, as well as in the description box down below. Have a beautiful, wonderful and safe weekend, my loves. Remember, you are what? You are these shits. Let's grow and glow together, my loves, and I will see you in my next video.